What's up, guys? This is going to be a tour of my office/studio space and makeup collection, and it's a long time coming. I've been doing YouTube for almost 10 years, voice acting for 3 to 4 years, and my working space has always felt disjointed and like I've never had a dedicated space that was actually meant or designed for any of these things. And so I've moved into a larger room in our house just because of the baby, and we're rearranging the kind of playing musical chairs with rooms. And so I'm finally now in this space, and it feels like it's actually an office. Everything I do fits in here, and it looks like it's meant to fit in here. The light is nice. Oftentimes I'm in an office or a closet where there is no natural light. It's a little sad sometimes. It's a real energy drain sometimes. So I'm so excited to be in this space. I'm so excited to share this space with you. Let's go ahead and dive in. Welcome to my recording booth. It's what's called a whisper room. It's basically the company that makes prefabricated, customizable sound booths, whether it's for voiceover, instruments, radio, you name it. This is a 4x6. I'll actually link everything I have in here because I've added acoustic tiles that you can see velcroed to the sides of this, as well as lighting that you can change up above my head. Basically, they make it super easy to customize a sound space for whatever you're doing, but I've only been using this in this booth for 8 months, almost a year at this point. You might remember if you saw my How to Get Into Voice Acting video, I was actually in a closet in the room where I was doing all the rest of my filming. I had put some acoustic tiling just like this in that closet and had a little desk that wasn't really a desk. I'll actually show you what it was later when we go to a different part of the room. Using that to set up my computer and my mic, and that works great. I was just spending so much time in that room and there wasn't a whole lot of ventilation. There were some problems that I still wanted to solve in addition to just wanting a place that felt like a true office with a real desk that made me decide to go with a booth like this. And I really have been enjoying it. So behind me, you will see that is a monitor and a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard. And one of the things that I really wanted to do was get my computer out of my voice space because the fan was so loud, like shockingly loud. The mic would pick up everything and it would create a whole bunch of white noise in the background that it was just really hard to remove from the audio. And so the best way to eliminate that noise is to remove the computer from the booth entirely. So you'll actually see the Nook behind the booth where all of that is set up along with the wiring. Everything is on a single switch. So I flip that, the booth turns on, lighting around it turns on. It's super nice. And the other benefit to having my computer outside of the booth is the heat. My computer would get so hot, both in the closet and in here whenever I would use it. And when you're stuck in an enclosed space, you can't really open this door or the other door just to make sure that you are preserving your sound quality. It would get really, really hot. And this booth does have a ventilation system. There's a remote behind me that will turn on, it's basically like a computer fan and they have a ventilation system that kind of pulls the air out. It does an okay job. It's not a stellar ventilation system because that would also add some noise to your audio in the booth. So I don't think it's a huge deal, but bottom line is, getting the actual computer out of this space, crucial. So that is the monitor that I use, a little camera mounted on top of it so that I can actually see the clients I'm working with. And then because it's there's really only overhead lighting here, I have a desk lamp as well that kind of lights me from above or in front, whatever I really need for the moment. And that helps keep things feeling well lit and more energized in here as well. Now let's move on to a different little nook. Welcome to a seating nook? I don't even know what to call it. I've never really had one of these before. Basically, it's an oversized chair along with a little bar cart kind of situation. There's no wheels on this, but it's like a little mini bar. And this is actually what I used as my desk in the closets that I used to work in before. This is actually one of the first pieces of decor that Andrew and I ever bought for our apartment when we were living in Chicago. So it's come quite a few places with us. And we'd used it for, to holds like wine glasses and bottles at the bottom. And this little piece up here is a little serving tray that comes off. It's meant to be like a little bar piece, but it's also the perfect size to fit in a closet that is stuffed with clothing or blankets for insulation, or the acoustic tiling that I had in there as well. It's the perfect size for a laptop. I could clamp my mic to it, all the things that I needed. This was my desk for years. And so now that I have my booth, it is back to being a happy hour corner, I guess. And it's really nice to have when it gets like a little too warm in the booth and I'm, sick of sitting in front of the lights filming, to just kind of sit here, probably scroll on Instagram or watch some YouTube videos and just hang out. And that's what this corner is all about. The plant, by the way, is Patricia the Pothos II. She is a cutting of this beautiful pothos that I have downstairs, and she is living her best life up here. It's been so nice to have fresh greenery in an office and enough light to like support live plants in an office. Been very nice. Okay, now let's get on to the good stuff. Let's talk makeup. Okay. Now let's talk about the makeup and filming space. So where I sit right now is at a standing desk. As I have changed my filming setup over the years, I love having light mounts that are actually attached. They are clamped to the desk. It frees up so much floor space around the desk. You don't have to juggle with tripods, or maybe that's not, floor stands for lights. They take up a bunch of space around your desk. You have to move. I found them to be very cumbersome. And finally, it dawned on me to look on Amazon for desk clamp light mounts. They exist and they are game changing. So that is what I currently use here, as well as the most recent discovery that I've really been loving, and that is a tripod, a camera tripod that clamps to the desk. And I found one that not only holds the DSLR that I'm filming on right now, but also has an arm for my smartphone. And that is actually how I've been getting my dual camera angle shots in some recent videos that I've put up lately, is because I have both of those sitting on my desk right now. And again, it makes not only moving the camera around so much easier as I'm filming, but it also makes storage and like saving desk space. When I'm done doing it all, I can push it back and it just becomes more compact, and it doesn't require moving around an actual tripod. So that is my desk setup. I also have a little sidecar where I keep all of my brushes. It's a mess, it needs to be organized, but at least the brushes are clean, which is a real rarity for me, honestly. Now, let's talk about the storage behind me. This is a PAX closet storage system. It seems that everyone who has changed from the original IKEA Alex drawer set that it felt like beauty YouTube grew up on has gone to the PAX system, and I was hesitant at first because I did the Alex drawers from IKEA and they were good, but not great for makeup storage. A lot of the makeup the drawer wouldn't fully open, so a lot of your makeup would be stored in the back. You wouldn't see it. I am very visual when it comes to picking makeup out, and I've found that if I can't see it, it is as good as non-existent to me. So I really wanted to be a little bit more careful this time about which kind of organization system I picked, rather than just going with what it seemed like Beauty YouTube collectively had. The PAX system is pretty good. So I'm actually the one challenge that I ran into though was not a lot of people, they'd say they were using the PAX system and then they wouldn't link to the actual kinds of drawers and accessories that they used with them, because there's so much that you can do with these. Like I said, it's a closet system, so there are different shelving options, different clothing rack options, different drawer options, and when you go to like build and customize your system on the IKEA website, it can be kind of hard to know what's what, like match up what you've seen online versus what they're offering on the website. So I will list everything that I use to assemble mine down in the description below. And speaking of makeup storage, let's go ahead and get into the good stuff. I'm going to open up those drawers and actually show you how I have organized my makeup. Let's go. So down at the bottom, first we have a base drawer. This is mostly foundations, some glowy bases, a very few primers. I don't absolutely need primers, so there are a few up there. And then I also have concealers kept in a plastic organizer case, and you'll see a ton more of those organizing everything else in my collection. For the foundations, these are actually spice racks that I got off of Amazon to display things really nicely here so that things aren't kind of stacked upright. I find it really helpful to see full products and logos. And yes, it might take up more room. That has happened throughout this whole reorganization of my makeup collection, but I am finding it helps me use so much more of what I have. Next up are face powders like blushes, bronzers, highlighters. This drawer is a focus on singles of those, as well as some liquids down here. And again, you can see I'm using lots of these plastic liners, which I keep from moving or sliding around here and keeping this even spacing by, you see these lines right here? These are non-stick liners that I placed at the bottom of all of my drawers. By non-stick, I mean they're ridged, and that's what keeps all of these things in place, but they don't actually stick to either the containers or the bottom of the drawers themselves. Now this is the other face powder drawer, mostly focused on palettes, some single items, cream blushers from Jaclyn Hill, and over here some cream items, but mostly we have palettes happening here. Next up, there are 3 different drawers of eyeshadows. Combination of palettes and singles. Honestly, these are not organized in any specific or purposeful way. They are just kind of, I mean, they're roughly by brand. You'll see, especially like the drugstore, smaller palettes, those are more easily fit into the little organizers, but really it's more just what kind of made sense at the time, what fit together size-wise, and I have 3 full drawers of them because I love eyeshadow palettes. Lips are a little bit scattered. I have these 2 towers with quite a few lips, especially these, my Lisa Eldridge and my Charlotte Tilbury, my Pat McGrath up here. They're really pretty ones that I definitely want on display. But then I also have this drawer with lip liners and then just kind of some miscellaneous brands in here. Getting back into eyes a little bit, these are more cream-based eye products and pencils. So like my Cindy Grace cream shadows, Dominique Cosmetics, just a little bit of everything. Here are brow products over here. I thought I didn't have any brow products until I actually organized them, only to find I have quite a few. What a difference organization makes. Then here is a nail drawer, which for someone who wears a ton of press-on nails, including these right here, I actually have a really big soft spot in my heart for Holo Taco. I love the finishes, the effects, the solid colors that Christine makes with Holo Taco. And so even though I rarely paint my nails, although when I do, they are these glue-on press-ons that I got from Amazon. I use them for my toes. I really love her formula. So this drawer is kind of a mismatch of products. Then below that, this is an even bigger mismatch, more of a miscellaneous. It's where I'm storing my extra storage containers as well. Oh, here are actually the spice rack things, which I also used for the nail polish, you can see. But 2 come in a pack, and so I have these spares here for anything that I might want to use for them in the future. And this is where I also put my new testing, new to use products. So have some M Cosmetics, Victoria Beckham, Rose Inc. This is the Revlon Megan Thee Stallion collaboration. This is where all of that lives while I am testing it out. Then I also have a tech drawer, which is super nice to finally have organized all in one place. Camera lenses, gimbal, things like that. And then at the bottom, no makeup again, but backgrounds. These I used to use all the time. Probably will again in the future, although with these, this room kind of has harsh lighting in the morning, so I might put shears up, so I'm really glad I never throw anything away. Super glad I kept these because they're gonna come in handy sometime soon. I really hope you enjoyed this tour through my studio / office / makeup collection. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and let me know if you have any questions. If I forgot to talk about anything you're curious, leave them down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye guys.